Welcome everyone and happy Pride. Thank you so much for joining Pride Month. And we want to say a special thank you to Gala San Luis Obispo for hosting this virtual Pride event. I'm Dawn Addis.
And I'm Gail Bunting.
And we are founding members of Women's March San Luis Obispo. We're here to celebrate Pride with you and also to talk about what Women's March San Luis Obispo does, as well as teaching you a little bit about LGBTQIA icon, Marcia P Johnson. Women's March San Luis Obispo works for a positive and just future from the grassroots. We firmly declare that LGBTQIA rights are human rights, and that it is our obligation to uplift, expand, and protect the rights of our gay, lesbian, bi, queer, trans, or gender non-conforming brothers, sisters, and siblings. We must have the power to control our bodies and be free from gender norms, expectations, and stereotypes. In 2021, Women's March San Luis Obispo has been all about powering up democracy, and we've stayed active during COVID virtually. We have hosted over 20 episodes of Answering the Call, an inspiring event uplifting women who are making change across the Central Coast. You can find out more about Answering the Call and all of our other initiatives at womensmarchslo.com on the web and across our social media on Women's March Slow. And if you missed the January 2021 March, definitely watch it at womensmarchslo.com. You'll remember where our movement started and why it's so important to keep going. So now I'm going to turn it over to Gail, who's going to teach you a little bit about the amazing icon, Marcia P Johnson.
Great, thanks, Dawn. Yeah, Women's March Slow chose Marcia P Johnson because of her activism and just her thrive for life. Marcia P Johnson was born Malcolm Michaels Jr. in August 1945 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. After graduating high school and a brief stint in the Navy, she fled to New York City with $15 in her pocket. There she found the freedom to start living her authentic life, even though during this time, dressing in clothes that didn't match her birth gender was cause for arrest. She was a pioneering transgender activist throughout the 1960s and into the 90s, and can be best remembered for her calls for socioeconomic justice and support for marginalized groups in society. She was a key figure in the 1969 Stonewall riots, which helped galvanize a more assertive gay rights movement. She was tenacious in pursuit of her goal to, quote, to see gay people liberated and free to have equal rights that other people have in America, end quote. In 1970, Marcia co-founded the Gay Liberation Front and the transvestite advocacy organization STAR, which stands for Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries. And this provided shelter and food to homeless LGBT youth and sex workers in Lower Manhattan. In the 80s, she organized as a member of the grassroots organization ACT UP, which stands for AIDS Coalition to Unleash Power. Tragically, Marcia was found dead in the Hudson River in 1992. Initially ruled a suicide, her case has since been reopened and her death marked as undetermined. Marcia was truly an icon who lived a fierce, authentic life. Her forthright nature and her endearing strength led her to speak against injustice and lift marginalized voices in the quest for equity and justice. We hope you'll continue to learn more about LGBTQIA icons and stay engaged with Gala.
So thank you for joining us, and thank you to Gala for hosting Virtual Pride 2021. Remember to find us on the web at womensmarchslo.com and across our social media at Women's March Slow. Happy Pride, everyone.